Welcome to the Mama and King Bear Hour. I am the King Bear, and this beautiful, illustrious, wonderful young lady next to me is
Tanya, aka Mama Bear.
Mama Bear's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming out, Bear. Okay, so this show that we have coming up today, we're going to hit on a trip that we took just recently. So you guys stay tuned to watch this. You ready to do it, Bear?
Well, you're paying me to do it, so why not?
Y'all heard it here first. Check it out. Look here recently when me and Mama Bear went out to Vegas, and we're going to talk about a few things that we saw, things we liked, things that we didn't like, all that good stuff. So, babe, let's start with the flight. How did you feel about the flight going out to Vegas?
I think it's worth paying for first class wherever I go from now on. I can't take those small seats. We're not little people. And I'm 5'8", and still wasn't enough room with the legs.
Man, you ain't saying nothing. Let me tell you. So, me and the wife were sitting next to each other while we were on this flight. And I'm a big guy. And while I'm sitting in a flight, I have this thing. If you're sitting in front of me, you're in trouble. Okay? So the seat is not going back. So you might as well forget it. So we're in the seat, right? And we're in the regular seats. And I couldn't even move. Like my knees were all the way up against the seat. I was already miserable because, the knees were almost killing me. And then, the wife is snuggling right next to me and I can't even get my arms adjusted. Like my arm is up on the seat one way while she's comfortable in the seat next to me. So at that point, it's absolutely nuts. There's no way I could get comfortable.
Even though he was in part of my seat as well, and he still wasn't comfortable. So he's like,
okay, this is not going the way I wanted, ladies and gentlemen. Now she's making me lose my ability to be the victim in this situation. But yeah, I was kind of bleeding over into the seat a bit. But she's small up top. She's dainty up top. So I should be able to do that. I don't know why she's acting like that's a problem all of a sudden.
Yeah,
okay. But, overall, one thing about the flight. So, I don't know if anybody else has a problem with this, but we had a female pilot on the trip.
I was excited about that halfway into the trip.
Why just halfway, though? Let them know.
Because it was a rough flight. It was...
Woo!
I'm all for girl power. I was excited. I was like, babe, we got a female pilot. Oh my gosh. He's like, so? And I'm like, it's exciting. And then the half an hour into it, it's like, and I'm like, what the hell? It was not nice. I had to close my eyes and pray because it was not a smooth trip. Not like the trip coming back, which was a male pilot. I hate to say that.
Shots fired! For real?
I hate to say that. Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, man. It was rough. Even I was turning over in the side and I'm wondering, are we going to make it? Because, it was quite a few times. I'm used to a little turbulence, but that up and down stuff, when the plane feels like it's going straight and then it just kind of hops in the air.
And that 4-hour flight felt like 6 hours.
It did. It felt really long. But, we actually lucked out because, with Mama Bear sitting in the middle and me sitting on the aisle, of course, there was one more seat, which was the window. And we happened to get somebody, would you say small or at least comfortable?
Medium size where, she didn't mind my hips filling out a little bit on her side, but it was pretty pleasant.
And ladies and gentlemen, those are some good hips. I'm telling you, for real.
Yeah, he grabs on them enough.
All right, so we go and we stayed at the what did we say?
Palace.
Caesar's Palace. Caesar's Palace was real cool, except for when we those casinos are huge. They're absolutely insanely huge.
Yeah.
We're not talking what is it? Biloxi in the building. You know what I'm saying?
You're right about that.
So you go in. The parking area is daunting alone, and then once you get in, then they have you going through the floor, not knowing where you're going with all your bags.
If you're self-parking. And let's also state that this was both our first trip to Vegas.
Our first trip together. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I went for a business thing a long time ago, but I didn't experience any of this. It was convention, something to eat, convention, back on the plane and go home. So.
Okay. Well, I stand corrected. This was my very first trip to the West Coast, period. So, yeah, this was mine.
Okay. So, once we get through, and I think they were pretty good at checking us in, right? And then once we found the front desk.
Yeah, it took us at least 25 minutes to find the front desk. It was signs, but it was a little hectic, and then there was so many people on the floor, and you just really don't know where you're going. But from the parking to the front desk, it is a long way.
Ridiculously long.
Yeah, it's very long.
Especially with a woman packing more than one bag for a trip, and I'm running through the airport with my bag, her bag.
Yes, I like to overpack, guys. Yeah. Unfortunately.
So. But I mean, come on, ladies and gents, when you look like this, I mean, come on, you should be able to overpack. So I didn't complain that much.
This is the only time I get compliments from him, just because he needs me to help him with the show. Now he's full of beautiful, and I was like, when the last time you called me beautiful?
All the time.
Like on that picture right here, 2000.
All the time. All the time.
He tried to cut me off. He lies.
All the time.
Well, let's get back on topic.
Okay, all right. So. We check in, then literally the front desk is literally on the opposite side of where the towers were, where the rooms were. So now we're OJing all the way through Caesar's Palace, across the floor and everything, trying to find the elevators to get up to where the room is. The final room we were in, babe, what did you think about the room?
Well, I wasn't pleased. I wasn't pleased. Well, the room was beautiful. I wasn't pleased because we reserved a king bed. Mm-hmm. And when we went to the room, there were, 2 double beds in the room?
Yeah.
And so they didn't let us know. They just checked us in, and they were like, okay, here's your keys. But not to let us know, we're checking you into a double bedroom.
Right.
So, of course, you know me. As soon as I don't like something, I'm picking up the phone and I am pressing 0. Okay?
No doubt. Shout outs to the 0 button, the operators in the building.
Unfortunately, I get like the Black Karen. So it is what it is. And so, I was like, look, I reserved the king bedroom for us. What's going on? Oh, well, ma'am, this is all we had. So basically, when you're late checking in, if they don't have the room that you reserved, you just SOL. Mm-hmm. So you have to get what they have that's available. And of course, I didn't look at that in a little small font on the reservation.
The fine print.
So
get you every time.
So, I didn't like it because we like to cuddle. That's my sleeping buddy. So we were in different beds that night. So I wasn't comfortable knowing that. But I was real comfortable being in my own bed. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh, hell no. Ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
I was comfortable. I missed him, but those beds were so soft.
Yo, shout out to Caesar Palace beds. They was dope. They was dope, for real.
But nonetheless, we made sure for the next few nights, had to go down early and tell them we wanted a king bed. And it worked out because it was a little more spacious for us. Mm-hmm. And I think the room overall was pretty nice. It's just the fact that they charge you $75 to use a refrigerator and there's no microwave. So it's like, you're going to be eating on our property.
hold on, Pat. Hold on. Let's tell them how we found out about the charge for using the amenities in the room. What happened, Pat?
Okay.
What happened? What happened?
So, if I'm not anything, I love candy. And so, I was just looking at the little mini bar area where it had a lot of the candy that I like. So, I'm just looking. Yeah. So, I'm just looking and I pick up one and then put it back down. So, that was it. So when I cut the TV on, I was like, oh, let me look to see what our account information is looking like. And I see an $18 charge on there. And I was like, what the hell is $18? You know?
Oh, hell no.
I mean, we already had the parking fee, so it wasn't a parking. So I was like, okay, Black Karen, back at it again. I'm pressing 0, asking, what is that charge from? And they said, oh, that's for taking something off of the mini bar. I said, well,
y'all hear this right?
Hold up. These fools got sensors on the mini bar.
Yes, indeed.
So they're going to charge you as soon as you pick it up. So it should be deducted once you put it back.
It should be.
And it wasn't. So I had to call, and then they were like, okay, we're going to go ahead and take it off this time. This time, I'm like, so if I brush up against it and it moves, we going to keep getting charged?
For real. And ladies and gentlemen, yo, for real, what they do is, the funny part is, like the boxes of Reese's Pieces, you know, the little square boxes, they sit it on the long side inside this little sensor box, so that if you toss the remote the wrong way or if you brush against it, you're going to knock the box over, which means they're going to charge you. It's absolutely insane.
I mean, it's kind of brilliant because they sure have the thing that you put the ice in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're picking it up and then you just brush past it, trying to pull it out, ding, ding. Exactly. And no Reese's PC box is supposed to be $18.
Sure not.
That's $1.25 at Walmart. Stop playing.
Easy. But before we go on, ladies and gentlemen, there was one little part of that story that Mama Bear forgot to tell, because there was somebody telling her. I don't remember who it was. I don't know if it was a bellhop or maybe housekeeping. No, it was the King
that
Bear.
Machine to go. I don't want to hear this, and nobody else wants to hear this either.
It was King Bear who said, "Babe, don't touch that candy. Leave that alone." And she was drawn to it like a moth to the flame. She's like, I just want to see. I told her like 8 times.
Can we move on?
Okay, we can move on. But I just want that known. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I just want to know that I told her like 8 times. Okay? We're going to move on from that.
He a liar. He did tell me twice, but not no daggone 8 times.
Yo, it was like 8 times. Okay.
Always like a New York person, exaggerating as hell. But go ahead.
Shout out to NYC. Yes, indeed. Anyway, so let's fast forward to the real fun stuff. We get all checked in a room, and then is it the first time that we went downstairs, or no? Because that night we looked for something to eat, and we tried the food court.
Flay's.
Yeah, we went to the Bobby Flay's burger joint. Good, but not worth the money. You know, you blink and you spend damn near a dub, and you don't get nothing but, you know, a burger, some fries, and 2 milkshake kind of thing. But my wife, the illustrious Mama Bear, happened to be walking the casino floor. Now, she already had it in her head that Vegas was about to pay our mortgage. Okay? It was already going down. She had it all set. But
no. You said mortgage. I just came with an amount that I wanted to spend, and you wanted to take all of my credit cards away and no debit cards. Yeah. I said nothing about a mortgage. I'm happy if I win, but I was planning on spending no matter what.
She was trying to spend more than the mortgage. But anyway, my thing was this. Okay, so we get out there, and my wife sees one particular machine. Now, anybody who knows us, they know Team Bear. They know we are avid fans of 2 series. And I'm talking about all of us. 2 series. One is Harry Potter. Shout out to Harry Potter. Rest in peace to Big Hagrid. And Game of Thrones. So we don't play when it comes to God. All right? Every series, every spinoff, if it's coming out that has anything to do with the Thrones, we on it. We watching it. It's a wrap.
Facts.
So Mama Bear's walking through and she lays eyes on the Game of Thrones. The Game of Thrones, what do you call
coin
that?
slot.
Yeah, the coin
slot machine.
Yo. If I needed to find her and she wasn't in the room, which happened while we were there, I ain't even gonna get into that. But that's where I had to look. Because she was in love with that game. So, was it a good time playing that game? Was it just for fun? Did we lose on that game? What happened with that game?
Okay, so the first night, that game was horrible. It wasn't horrible enough for me to leave it alone. I just had to change seats. So the first night, it was a wash. But the next few nights, I'm smiling. I enjoyed it.
Wait a minute, because she never told me how much was lost or gained on the first night. That night just went
That's
away.
not even important. I recouped that back the next day. He needs to move on.
Okay, so I'll move on. You know, Mama Bear said move on, I'll move on. But going forward with it, it did pretty good for you?
I loved it. I did.
All right. Sound like we got some bills paid.
I'm going through withdrawal right now, and I want to play it again.
Yo, I'm going through withdrawal for the whole Vegas trip.
But, that, and then you had the Buffalo game.
Buffalo! Shout out to the Buffalo game. Ladies and gentlemen, the Buffalo game. I like that game,
too. After Game of Thrones.
Well, let me tell y'all about the Buffalo game. So, here was my story. So, I go downstairs, right? And the wife's taking care of some business matters and stuff like that. Off-floor business matters. And I decide, she tells me once she gets done, she's going to meet me somewhere on the floor downstairs. Now, I'm not a big gambler. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a $40 rule. I don't like to lose any more than $40 doing anything in this world. Now, if I spend money on something and it's expensive, then great, as long as I feel like I'm getting something for it. But to just put money in a machine, any more than $40, I got an attitude the rest of the day. It just bothers me.
But you don't mind when I give you the money to put in there, though.
Hey, man. I say, no thing. It's not my money. You wanted me to use money? I use the money. That's it.
My money is your money. Your money's my money.
Hey, now when you put it in my hand, it was your money.
So that $40 doesn't even make sense because that was quadruple. I don't even know what multiplication number that we went over. Yeah. It's we.
Yeah.
So he saved $40. He saved $40, but once you add me into the equation, just go ahead and multiply that times 50 or something like that, and there you go.
Help me, nigga.
So
I had it in my head that I made a mistake and told him how much I wanted to spend. So I was like, I want to spend $2.
Man.
$2,000.
Not $2. Not $200.
And he liked to flip on me and wanted to take every single card, make sure there were no debit cards. And he can't even get upset because I did not do the 2.
She didn't. She didn't, ladies and gentlemen. She did really good. She really did. I got to give it to her. So, but anyway, so on my Buffalo story. So while I'm waiting for her, right, I decide, well, you know what? I'm not going to try to gamble. I'm just going to sit down and wait for her. And lo and behold, 2 things happened that kind of lined up. One, on my phone games, the commercials that I always get is always showing this Buffalo Stampede coin slot game for your phone. So I got so used to seeing it when we got to the casino, I was like, oh, cool. Buffalo game, Buffaloes, yelling and all that. And two, there's typical seats for the slot machines. And then this Buffalo machine had this like really, really, really comfortable seat. So I figured I'd just sit there and wait for her, at the machine. And, I waited for a little while. And I noticed, there was a guy to the left of me playing the machine. And it was like, yo, what was this? Ocean's 11? Like my man was hitting like left and right and left, like constantly, to the point where he had his phone out. My man was doing calculations, pressing the button, doing more calculations. And I was like, yo, they're going to come get this cat for real, man. Because it didn't make no sense how he was hitting and then had his phone up while he was hitting. Mm-hmm. So he hit for a while and then he, out of the blue, like he didn't lose it and didn't leave. He hit for a long time and then he just got up and left. Didn't even see him no more. He didn't even come back around there. So I was like,
that's because they got him.
They got him running out the door. They was like, oh, you thought you was going somewhere, dog. Nah, bring it back. So, but the wife finally comes down and I'm sitting at the game and she's like, how did it go? You sat down at a machine and I told you that machine had been hitting a little bit before. Was that the time?
You said one of them was hidden, but I didn't get on the one that was hidden.
Right. No, you got on the one that I was sitting at.
Right.
Because I was sitting there, and when you were coming, I got up, and then...
Because we were lucky to get that seat, because it was packed.
Right.
Those are popular. That's a popular game.
Right. Because I think it was either 5 or 7 of those seats in a row, and... if you get up, people like standing behind you waiting to get on those machines.
Right.
So, the wife sat at the machine I was at, and then all of a sudden, she starts playing, and then I start seeing the little stampedes, like boom, 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 and then Buffalo.
Yeah,
it was like, whoa, wait a minute. And I'm sitting there. Now, I'm bitter, y'all. I'm bitter. I can't even front. I am straight bitter because it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. I was sitting there like that was supposed to be me. But, if it's me, it's us. If it's us, it's we. So,
but he was still better.
Yeah, I was. Because I wanted that. But, she was getting it and, it was hitting pretty good. She got a couple of those, like the minis and the free games or free spins and stuff.
Yeah, the bonus games are the truth. So, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
That's what made the game enjoyable.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's a crazy feeling if you've never gambled at Vegas or any of these machines. Because I'm telling you, if you look back, it's boring as hell. Like whether you're winning or losing. Because, if you hit a button and then you hit like the free games and stuff, it'll tell you like 6 free games, 8 free games, 10 free games. And then the game just plays itself. And then you're just sitting there looking. Like that's it. You're just looking. And you're hoping that on its spins it catches more, but you're really not doing anything. You're just watching this giant screen, looking up.
Yeah, I mean, you're pissed. But once you start seeing those bonus games go, you're like, okay, it was worth every bit of all this boringness. Because you're just looking with your eyes just popping like, hit, times 10, times 30, times 30.
Yeah.
And you get this rush.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that makes it enjoyable.
It does. And, I was a big winner for somebody who didn't want to gamble much on that game, on that particular day. So somebody had left one of the coupons. After you play, you cash out and you pull out this little ticket. And somebody had left one that had like 20 cents credit. Right. Now, even though these machines say that they're a penny or 1 cent, they have like $1.60 minimum to play.
Right.
So I took it and I was like, well, I can't do anything with this. And I dug in my pocket and I had a $5 bill. So I slid the coupon in, put my $5 in, and I think I hit the $1.60. I think I hit it once, and then I switched to like the $3 one.
$3.20, yeah.
And the second I hit it, it went into that Buffalo stampeding and the Eagles screeching all over, and it went into a mini game, and then it was like 6 free games and all this. So, long story short, that $5.20 flip turned it into $300. So, now, it's not mortgage or anything, but I was
a win is a win.
A win is a win. Yes, indeed. So, what did you think? What did you think about the food in Vegas?
Okay, so I wasn't a huge fan of some of the, what is that, like cafeteria, like the food court in Caesar's Palace. It wasn't, it was subpar.
Right.
You know, but you're going to pay a grip. You're going to pay a grip for it. You know, you come in there late and you want to eat something quick and they know it. So you're going to pay for it.
Yep.
But shout out to TikTok and researching about some restaurants. We found some good picks. We definitely found some good picks. I want to say if you guys are interested in like a brunch buffet, the Wynn was beautiful and they had tons of food. And it's pretty affordable as far as the prices of, you know, nice upscale brunches there. It was somewhat on the lower end. It wasn't cheap, but it was on a little bit lower end than
for that area of the strip.
Exactly, for the area of the strip. And that brunch was really good.
Yo, it was my homemade pancakes on spot. Of course, you have your omelets and stuff like that, but yo, they put out the good stuff. They put out the good stuff.
They had the shrimp. You had, what did you have? Like, did you try the red velvet? You had the chocolate chip, but you basically can just order whatever flavor you want. And it was really good. And they had, you know, the different flavors of, you know, different cultures. They had the Mexican stuff. They had the Italian. They've had a whole bunch of stuff there. But it was so good. I mean, I'm the type of person who my eyes are bigger than my stomach.
Yes, indeed.
So I'm like getting these big plates, and I'm so glad they're not the type of buffet that charge you for leaving all that food on the plate, or we be in trouble.
Yes,
but
indeed.
Yeah, the Wynn was good, and so was the buffet at the Caesar's Palace. Oh my God. I can't even pronounce.
Yeah, I can't either. Baccalaureate.
Yeah. Buffet at Caesar's Palace.
Yes,
that's what you need to look at. Well, they have like 5 or 6 rooms full of food.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, crab legs, king crab legs. Yeah. It was unheard of. I mean, you gonna pay.
Oh, yeah. Now
that's the most expensive, I think, on the strip. Yeah. You're gonna pay.
Yeah. That was the King Behemoth.
Yeah, I've never paid that much for a buffet in my whole entire life.
Never. Per person. Like never even thought about that much for a buffet.
But shout out to I'm not sure if you were such a fan, but that Lolo's Soul Food found the Soul Food black owned restaurant. It was off the strip, and of course I found
Flamingo, it. Right? Was that Flamingo?
No.
I mean the street. Was it East Flamingo? I could be mistaken. If I am, I apologize.
But it was off the strip, and it was called Lolo's. And, I mean, you guys have to check it out if you go, because their prices, they were pretty good. Big portions. The food was really good. I mean, they even had, like, Kool-Aid, alcoholic drinks, if that's what you're into. Neither one of us are real big alcohol. Well, he doesn't drink alcohol at all, and I barely drink it.
None at all.
But I mean,
what did you have? What did you have at Lolo's?
Well, I did order the blackened fish with the rice and the vegetables with it. You know, was trying to take a different spin, maybe not so fully, but just it did have a lot of flavor to it. But I'm sitting here looking at everybody else's plate, and they got this chicken that's looking good as hell. And I was like, well, can I get a side of a chicken wing? And so that one chicken wing went to another chicken wing. I didn't eat all the rest of my food. I mean, it was good, but that had to be some of the best fried chicken I ever had.
It wasn't bad.
In my whole life that I've had. And I've had some people that had some really good fried chicken. And they had like this big soul food plate. And it was a really good price. It was like $25. And you get 3 pieces of chicken. Doesn't matter what size you want. You know, it could be
or
the leg
one
wing.
piece, or right.
Yeah, it didn't matter the size. I mean, I like wings, so pretty much that's what I got. But it came with a whole big thing of collard greens, mac and cheese, and then the cornbread was a big, huge muffin. So,
sweet or that jalapeno?
No, it was kind of sweet.
Kind of sweet.
It just had a little cinnamon in it. That was weird to me. I haven't had cornbread with cinnamon in it, but it was okay.
Okay.
But everything else was really good. And then the sweet tea, it was Southern sweet tea.
Oh.
That was the only place in
Sugar
Vegas I seen.
diabetes tea. Shout out to.
It was sweet. I was like, can I get a cup of water to add on it?
Wow.
And I mean, on TikTok, they were talking about the egg rolls. The what was it? The peach. What is that called? It's an egg roll and it was filled with the peach filling, peach cobbler in the middle.
Peach cobbler egg roll.
Yeah, it was a peach cobbler egg roll with like caramel. Oh my god.
Oh Lord, do we need to?
2 hours later.
Do we need to give her a little break, ladies and gentlemen? Because I've seen that face before. Usually it's just for me, but she's doing it for the
It's for good food too.
Peach cobbler.
It's for good food too. Okay, and that food was the bomb. Okay,
it was good.
So,
it was good.
And I'm telling my age, talking about the bomb. But yeah, it was. I guess for the young people, it's lit. So,
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it was really good. And shout out to I'm from Baltimore, so I'm a Ravens fan as well. They have a restaurant based for Baltimore Ravens fan, and they have crab legs. If you like crab cakes, basically anything Baltimore, crab dip, whatever you want. You can watch the Ravens game there. Oh my gosh, I wanted to go, but I don't think this New York Giant fan he wouldn't take me. He found every excuse not to take me. That's why they lost this week.
But we beat you though.
You did. Y'all did. I'm going to give you that. But y'all lost and we won this week.
We weren't supposed to win 3 games this season, so
I know.
every win is a
Davy
bonus at
Jones.
this point. Why she? Ladies and gentlemen, why she keep clowning our Hall of Fame quarterback Daniel Jones and calling him from SpongeBob and from Pirates of the Caribbean Davy Jones? Like, why?
He need to go back into the locker.
She playing. I didn't once call Lamar Lawrence Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that still sound good. You can't top the Davy Jones. Just deal with it. He gonna always be Davy Jones for me.
Okay, yeah, but so the eating was great. The casinos were fun.
But
Jesus,
I will say that also I enjoy, and let me tell you, the one restaurant that I give 2 thumbs up would be Carmine's. That Italian, they already said they were the best Italian restaurant on the Vegas Strip.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't tried any other ones, but it was absolutely delectable. And of course, nothing is cheap on the Strip, but the portions, we gotta. My husband, he has a big, healthy appetite, so they were letting him know that they were big portions. But he was like, "Oh, yeah, it's not gonna be big to me."
Mm-mm.
But were they big?
Those were some pretty sizable portions.
Yeah, it's family style,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was absolutely delicious.
Right.
So I would definitely say, hey, especially if you have a group of people and you're trying to share the family style eating, Carmine's Italian restaurant was amazing.
That's right.
I
I second it, and that's coming from not only a New Yorker, but a New Yorker from Staten Island. Shout outs to Shaolin. Everybody in NY, they know exactly where the Italians live when it comes to New York. That south side of Staten Island, and we got the north. So when it comes to good Italian food, I absolutely know what's going on. And that Carmine,
I don't. So I'm going to have to go by him because because I thought Maggiano's was good, and you know. And Olive
she's
Garden.
gotten better, y'all. She's gotten better. She's gotten better.
That's my expertise. Olive Garden and Maggiano's.
Shout out to the unlimited pasta bowls.
But yeah, Carmine's was way above and beyond those places.
Right. Didn't have to touch the salt, the pepper, nothing extra on the table.
I was like, this is seasoned.
Right. Seasoned right. Yeah, it was really good.
Gosh, yeah. And you said that's what's to be expected up north.
Yeah.
Because down here, it'd be kind of bland.
A little bit. Yeah, you got to break out.
Make you want to bring some seasoning in your purse.
Oh, Lord. Woo, we're going to save that for another talk with somebody who stayed prepared. Because like they say, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So, man. But for anybody who's been to, major cities, it, to me, the Fremont Road felt like home. It was, bright lights, different types of music coming in different areas. Like all of your senses were peaked out. They were maxed out. You had to watch your back, make sure you keep the wallet in the front. All the lessons we learned as big city hood rats and all that. And a lot of wackos.
And it's the spot for all the affordable eats in Vegas.
Woo!
Those prices were way below the prices on the Strip.
Yo, sub $10 prices on stuff. We didn't see that at all anywhere else. But yeah, it felt like, for those who know, in New York, it felt like old Canal Street. It felt like, yo, somebody could sell you something, people dancing over in another corner. You got the streetwalkers over in one corner. You got, it was everything. Bands playing, cheap food. It was absolutely
dancing in the street.
Every sense. It smelled different. It looked different. It sounded different. And all the
so
food
many
out
different
there.
genres of music and different type of people all coming together. So that was pretty cool.
And all the wackos. Like, you get your street performers and then you got your wackos.
Now we did.
Ooh, Vegas got some wackos. They got some wackos.
That's everywhere.
Nah, not like Vegas though. Not like Vegas.
Well, hold up. Aren't we gonna talk about the RuPaul's live drag race that we went to, where they were calling you out?
Ladies and gentlemen,
we can't even go to Circus without visiting the RuPaul's live drag race at the Flamingos.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was dope. That was fun. I gotta tell you, shout out to my Jada Bear, my youngest, most beautiful daughter in the world. She actually got, I don't know if she got you started, but
both of us.
Both of y'all got, okay, so she got us started on, watching the RuPaul's, was it Drag Race show or whatever it is?
Yeah, it's been a lot of seasons, but the last couple of seasons we watched it with her. Right.
So I got one in. I got one solid season, and then she showed me episodes from other seasons. And, I gotta admit, man, it's pretty entertaining. So, Mama Bear turned around and did what she does and pulled some strings and stuff like this and, flashed them big balance credit cards and all that good stuff. And she got us some really good seats to the show. We was on the floor. Like there's the stage, you step down, and then the very next area, we was like right there. To the point where, they came after your boy. They came after your boy. I should have known being all big out there for everybody to see. And of course, it's wall-to-wall couples who are the same sex and, homosexual couples that are out there. So, most of those guys are smaller, frailer when it comes to my size. So everybody's kind of small, and then I'm just big in the room.
Yeah, we're in the booth with others.
Right, and I'm taking
and
off.
He's spilling out of the booth.
I'm all in the aisle. Like every time they come running by, I gotta kick my feet up and get out the aisle. So the performer, I forgot his name.
Her. Her name.
I forgot her name.
Chanel. Chanel was.
Shout out to Chanel.
See.
Word. So yeah, Chanel came out. Chanel comes out and she's like, you know, engaging the crowd and all that. And as soon as she sees my big tail sitting there, like all of a sudden it's like, yo, it's the Chanel and King Bear show. Like it didn't even make sense how she was getting.
I mean, it was like crickets. Like she like looked at you and was like, jackpot, jackpot.
And you know, but it was fun. I mean, I like I said, I'm always there for the smoke. So
and she gave it to you.
Oh,
She lit your ass on fire.
Yo, that's the first time I've ever been called a big motherfucking CeeLo.
Look at
Word, that's the only big black dude, you know, and CeeLo like 4'7", so it's like not even close.
She said other names, but that's what came to us.
She did, because she said Green Mile too.
Yeah, she did.
She said, big Green Mile, CeeLo Green looking. I'm like,
she was like, what's your name? He was like, Malcolm. She was like, okay, Malcolm.
Yo, but you know, she kept coming back and you know, shouting me out from the stage and had me answer stuff. So it was fun. You know, I definitely had a lot of fun.
It was engaged. Y'all both was engaged
Yeah.
with each other.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, she even brought up about, you know, as far as the abortion stuff, and she was like, no one should be able to tell a woman what they can do with her body. And then she was like, ain't that right, Malcolm?
Yeah, she sure did.
She kept on calling him out for
I had to give her the thumbs
everything.
up. I'm like, absolutely. Stay out of woman's body, mate.
And mind the fact, the show was at 9:30, and Mama Bear goes to sleep kind of early.
Yes. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I wasn't even going to bring that up.
I mean,
you open that can.
I mean, that's what
Let's
we here
go down
to do.
the rabbit hole.
Might as
Let's
well.
go. Land the plane. Land the plane.
You go ahead.
So, like, all this stuff is going on. The show's going on and all this, right? And I happen to, Mama Bear sitting on the right-hand side of me. So I happen to look to my right, and I look at her, and she got her phone up, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, she's recording the show and stuff. And I'm wondering, I'm like, yo, I wonder if she got that whole interaction that I went through and all this, right? Because, I mean, it looked like she had been recording, like, the whole time. So we go further in the show, and then I happen to look back again, and yo, Mama Bear got the phone up, and the head is down. Like, Mama Bear is out. And I'm like, yo, did she really just fall asleep in here?
I mean, that takes a lot of, that is a lot of experience to be holding up the camera. And I recorded a full show.
You did.
While I was asleep.
You did. She was out, though. She was KO Peg Day, boy.
I mean,
she was out of here.
It was like around 1:00 our time here. So,
Yeah.
And it was exactly the next night. So I was not acclimated to the time yet.
Mm-mm.
So he kept hitting me and he was like, wake up, wake up. And I still kept falling asleep. And then he said, look, you gonna wake up before they call you out. As soon as he said, I don't like being embarrassed. I don't know what, that lit a fire underneath my tail, and I was up the rest of the time because I'm like, I'm not about to be embarrassed, because she was roasting people left and right, telling people who they said they were straight. She's like, no, you're not.
Ooh. Ooh, if she would have saw you sleep on the show.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, it would have been horrid.
He saved me. He loved me
That's
that
right.
night. He
That's
loved
right.
me that night.
I love you every night. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, so, but it was a good time. It was a good time. So,
and, of course, my husband, who wants to have the desert scenery. Okay, so we did leave all the lights because he wanted to see the stars from the desert. So, without all the lights in the background. So, you kind of want to tell them about that experience, babe?
All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to make this one quick because I'm not going to sit out here. But first of all, I wanted to experience the desert. Everybody goes to Vegas and then get on a plane and leave Vegas. But I never experienced the true desert out in that area. So, I wanted to drive out there. And during the day, we drove out pretty far out away from Vegas. And we saw some cool stuff out there. So I got it in my head that, I wanted to see the big sky, without the light, pollution and everything else. I wanted to see the sky full of stars. You know, as a NYC hood rat, you don't get to see it. And even living in Atlanta, you know, the light pollution is horrible. So you can only see the brightest stuff. So I decide, well, babe, come on. We're going to hop in the car. We're going to drive into the desert, and we're going to look at the night sky. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I thought we were going to do. And at that moment, I remembered I was black. Because I remembered. Because we pulled off on the side of the road, and every horror movie that I have ever seen where a black dude does something stupid, that was it. Every last one of them. So
that was his moment.
Yeah. So we get all the way out there, burn up all that gas, and gas was like, what, $5?
$5.20 a gallon. I mean, he
to
really
Deep
wanted
Pockets.
to see that, to be using up all that gas.
Shout out to Deep Pockets of the West Coast people for real. Because over here in the Southeast, our gas gets to $5. People get the looting. But
But that Turo car we had was pretty good on gas.
It was pretty good. So, you know, we go out to the desert, and, you know, once we get out there, turn off all the lights, you know, and then I remembered, there's stuff that lives in the desert that can snatch me off and take me out into the great abyss.
Right.
And wasn't feeling it anymore. It was over with. Like,
He got scared just like our dog.
shout outs to the
Two
bear
big
monster.
black scary things.
Yo, it was nothing. It was nothing getting me out the car. Like, I didn't even want to roll down the window. Like, I rolled it down halfway and stuck my phone out the window to record the stars.
I got so tired of him. I was like, you being too scary. I was like, you just being a punk. I'm like, you know what? I'm about to open my door
She
and
did.
just look. And he was like, yeah, go ahead. I was like, man, I'm not even going to worry about it. I opened the door. This fool honked the horn. I shut that door so fast. I was like, what the hell?
Yo, it was so funny. I could have peed right there and it would have been perfectly fine, but I wasn't getting out that car though.
Yeah, we was done.
Yeah.
That was a wash.
So, but I mean, you know, we're running low on time, but yeah, overall that Vegas trip, it was amazing, and we'll definitely do another one of these, and we'll finally get to
conclude Circus.
well, we're gonna have to get that one on the next one.
Oh my God.
Because there's so much to tell about the coins and the ching-chings. It's, ladies and gentlemen.
land that Top forgot.
Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, like, comment, subscribe to our show, to our channel, and you'll hear more, especially when we drop the next part and we talk about the other parts of Vegas that were just absolutely insane, especially the one place that we keep bringing up yet not getting a chance to really talk about, because it needs a show in itself.
It probably does.
Right. It needs a show in itself.
It probably does.
So, concluding the show, I've been the big man of the hour, the King Bear, and you have been beautiful.
Nervous because this was my first podcast. So, you know,
Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
did the best I could. And he bribed me with Atlanta Falcon tickets yesterday. So,
yes, I did. So definitely give her a thumbs up in the comments and tell her that how good she did when she did this show, because I think she's a natural. So talk her up so she'll come out and do it again. You'll see her beautiful face on the camera and all that good stuff. So I'm not the only one who gets to bask in the beauty and the glory. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Mama and King Bear Show. We'll check you on the next one. Have a great one.